Have you ever wondered what would happen if Mr. Bean had to face the real law? Not cartoon laws, not comedy rules, but the actual laws of the real world? Because here's the truth. Mr. Bean is one of the funniest characters ever created. Everyone loves him, but if you stop laughing for just 1 second and look at what he actually does, you start to notice something strange. Some of the things he does aren't just silly, they're illegal, very illegal. And if a real person ever acted like Mr. Bean, they wouldn't just get a warning. They would be in a police car faster than Bean can ruin a peaceful day. So today, we're doing something no one really talks about. We're going to ask a simple but shocking question. How long would Mr. Bean's prison sentence be if every one of his actions were judged by real-world UK law? Because in almost every episode, he breaks something, he steals something, he lies to someone, he destroys property, he harasses people, he trespasses into places, he causes public danger, and sometimes he even commits crimes. He doesn't realize our crimes, but that's the magic of Mr. Bean. He doesn't mean to hurt anyone. He's not evil. He's just Mr. Bean, a walking disaster, a lovable chaos machine. Still, the law doesn't care about excuses. The law cares about actions. So imagine this. A police officer finally stops him after one of his classic disasters. They look at everything he's done over the years. Every accident, every crime, every time he caused public panic. What would happen? And when you add all the charges together, the final number might shock you. For over 30 years, the world has laughed at him. We view him as a harmless eccentric, a man-child, a lovable fool, stumbling through life in his tweed jacket and red tie. We call him Mr. Bean. But laughter is a powerful camouflage. If you strip away the laugh track and if you look at his actions through the cold, hard lens of the British legal system, a different picture emerges. Mr. Bean is not a comedian. He is a one-man crime wave. Today, we do what the London Metropolitan Police failed to do. We are putting Mr. Bean on trial. We will break down his 7 most heinous crimes. Let's begin with the roads. In the episode Do It Yourself, Mr. Bean, the defendant purchases a reclining armchair during a January sale. Upon realizing the item does not fit inside his 1977 Leyland Mini 1000, Mr. Bean chooses a different path. He secures the chair to the roof using common rope. He then modifies the vehicle's controls, using a mop handle to depress the gas pedal and strings to operate the steering wheel. He then sits on the roof. Under the Road Traffic Act of 1988, Section 2, this is the textbook definition of dangerous driving. The law states that a person drives dangerously if the way he drives falls far below what would be expected of a competent and careful driver. Driving a vehicle from the roof with a mop, that isn't just below the standard, it is a mockery of it. But this goes beyond a traffic violation. By driving blindly through a residential area, unable to reach the brake pedal effectively, he is exhibiting gross negligence. If a child had stepped into the road, Mr. Bean would have no mechanical way to stop the vehicle in time. In the UK, the maximum penalty for dangerous driving is 2 years imprisonment. We are also adding a charge of driving a vehicle in dangerous condition, Section 40A. The verdict: for risking the lives of every pedestrian in London that day. Sentence: 2 years in prison, full lifetime disqualification from driving. Medical malpractice and assault. In The Trouble with Mr. Bean, the defendant visits a dentist. While the medical professional is distracted, Bean begins tampering with the equipment. What happens next is not slapstick. It is a felony. As the dentist turns around, Mr. Bean forcibly injects him with a massive dose of Vicine, a local anesthetic. The dentist collapses immediately. He is incapacitated. Let's look at the offenses against the Person Act 1861. This is not simple assault. This is Section 23. Administering poison or noxious thing with intent to injure, aggrieve, or annoy. The law states, whosoever shall unlawfully and maliciously administer any poison or other destructive or noxious thing, so as thereby to endanger the life of such person, shall be guilty of a felony. Anesthetic is a dangerous chemical. An overdose can cause cardiac arrest. By injecting a medical professional until they lose consciousness, Bean committed grievous bodily harm, GBH, with intent. He then proceeds to perform dental surgery on himself, demonstrating a complete lack of remorse or concern for the unconscious victim on the floor. The maximum penalty for Section 23 is 10 years. For Section 18, GBH, with intent, it is life. Because the dentist survived, we will be lenient. Sentence: 8 years in prison. In Mind the Baby, Mr. Bean, the defendant accidentally acquires a baby at a bus stop. He decides to take the infant on a day trip to a fun fair. He places the infant inside a high-voltage bumper car. Under the Child Abduction Act of 1984, taking a child without lawful authority is a serious offense. Section 1 states it is a crime to assault, ill-treat, neglect, abandon or expose a child in a manner likely to cause unnecessary suffering or injury to health. Strapping a baby into a bumper car is the definition of exposure to risk. He treats the child like a prop, showing a sociopathic inability to understand human fragility. Kidnapping carries up to 7 years. Cruelty carries up to 10. Sentence: 12 years running consecutively. We return to his apartment for what is arguably his most calculating crime. In a lazy attempt to paint his living room, Mr. Bean constructs a device. He places a lit firecracker inside a sealed metal paint can. He positions this device in the center of the room and exits. Let's be clear about what this is. This is an improvised explosive device, or IED. Under the Explosive Substances Act of 1883, Section 2, causing an explosion likely to endanger life or property, carries a mandatory sentence of life imprisonment. There is no accidental defense here. He bought the firework. He rigged the can. He lit the fuse. This is arson with intent to endanger life. Sentence: we now move to international waters. In 1997, Bean traveled to Los Angeles. His target, Whistler's Mother, one of the most famous paintings in American history, valued at over $50 million. First, he sneezes on the canvas. Gross, but accidental. But then, he takes a rag soaked in lacquer thinner and scrubs the face of the painting until it is a blank white smear. This is criminal damage to property of high value, but he doesn't confess. He engages in a cover-up. He breaks into the gallery's security room, mixes chemicals, and creates a forgery. He replaces the original masterpiece with a poster he covered in egg whites to simulate brush strokes. This is art forgery and fraud. He deceived the Grayson Gallery and the world. In the U.S. federal court system, destroying a piece of cultural heritage of this magnitude, sentence: the crime to end all crimes. In The Return of Mr. Bean, the defendant is invited to a royal lineup to meet Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II. He panics. He bows too vigorously, and in doing so, he delivers a violent headbutt directly to the forehead of the sovereign. The Queen collapses. He doesn't help her. He runs. Under the Treason Act of 1842, Section 2, it is a high misdemeanor to strike or strike at the sovereign with intent to injure or alarm. Historically, this was punishable by death. In modern times, it is punishable by 7 years imprisonment, but because he knocked the Queen unconscious, this is assault on the crown. It is an attack on the state itself. Let's review the rap sheet. Dangerous driving and negligence, 2 years. Assault and medical malpractice, 8 years. Child abduction and cruelty, 12 years. Arson and explosives, 15 years. Destruction of art, 10 years. Mr. Bean would enter prison in 1990, and if you believe justice was served today, hit the like button.